They're on your side. Corporations came forward and said, we're going to do diversity. We're going to do this because race needs to be dealt with. And for Donald Trump to be able to cancel a commitment they made is an outright affront to the black community, brown community, LGBTQ, gay community, and women that they committed to. So that is why we will stand with those that stand with us.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, can we talk about the blackity blacks for just a second? Yeah, I get tired of talking about them, but they won't stop cutting up. Here we got Reverend Al Sharpton himself, y'all. He has taken the charge and putting blackity blacks on his back and said, I'm going to carry y'all to the promised land on my own. Out here standing up for DEI policies that are going away by corporations from coast to coast. That's right. Al Sharpton got together and said, I'm going to hand out some money. Oh, really, Al? He said, I'm going to hand out some money, $125 or so to people in the hood, and I need y'all to come on and follow me like the Pied Piper. We're going to go down, and I need you to spend that $125 off in this Costco. Well, ain't that manipulation if I've ever seen it? Yo, Al Sharpton, $125 don't even cover my Costco membership, bruh. So I need you to be aware of what's going on here. And when you look at him, when I looked at him marching through the doors of Costco, I said, yo, I sent one of my kids down there last week with my Costco card. They couldn't even get in because you got to scan the card. And they said, hey, this ain't you. This don't look like you. They was like, hey, man, I couldn't even get in and do what I needed to do. Okay, now you go in Costco. They scan and everything. Well, how you let all these blackity blacks off into Costco to march through there with Al Sharpton without cards? You didn't scan these Negroes. And if they only got $125, they ain't gonna get much out of there anyway. You go in my Costco, bruh, you got business owners that go in there 3 people deep and they get the big carts and they load all the big carts up with all kind of stuff that they take back to their corner store in your hood. They give it a 50% markup and sell it to you when they just bought it from Costco. I'm looking at them right there in the store. I'm sorry, in the store. I'm watching them. I'm looking at them. I see the game. I see the hustle. And I also see the hustle when people like this blackity black that is endorsed by not only news stations, but also corporations that support his nonprofit organization that he uses to shake down companies. And he says, oh, well, we're going to show that we support Costco because Costco is resistant to getting rid of DEI policies. Let me tell you something, y'all. And this is my main message on this video, so I hope you grasp it and grasp it in its entirety. Those of us who are melanated, who are black and proud of it in this country, would do a disservice to our ancestors to be in the position that we are in even this day in 2025 if we didn't go out and work as hard as we could. Go out and be our best. Go out and do our best in order to compete in every marketplace. You see, when our ancestors were back in the day on that cotton field, on that plantation, they didn't have DEI, y'all. And they fought, and they strived, and they bled, and they died for you and I to have a certain opportunity today. So when this Negro comes out and he try to tell us that we need affirmative action and we need DEI and we need everybody else to bend over for us, no, sir. It would be so disrespectful to the legacy that has brought us to this point. No, Big Mama didn't need DEI. She worked her fingers to the bone. No, Granddaddy got out there and he laid them bricks. He did what he had to do. to provide an opportunity for us. We not asking for no handout. No, we just asking for you to take your boot off our neck and we gonna make it do what it do, Al Sharpton. But we understand that you paid by not only TV networks, but by political affiliations like the Kamala Harris campaign that broke you off quite handsomely, allegedly. So for you to get out here and make a big stink of things in 2025, sir, and say you're going to support Costco, of all places, and then you're going to turn around and boycott Target, who is of the same ilk? Well, we don't really get what you're talking about, Mr. Sharp Tongue. But it seems like the blackity blacks are tripping over themselves to fall in line with your message. Y'all check this out.
Target is one of the companies that actually thought that DEI right. They actually looked at the customer base and found products that were responsive to the customers that were there. And so you have Black-owned companies that have products on the shelves at Target simply because Target made a concerted effort to actually create opportunities to connect consumers with product. It's good business and it's good for the consumer base. And so knowing now that they're rolling that back hurts. All of this is super personal to me. Like I've said several times, I do DEI work. So all of this happening hits right here, just deep in this area. Just really miserable.
Baby, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not surprised that Target canceled that DEI Act, okay? Target has always given, how much money can we make off of y'all? When Miley Cyrus and, Juicy J and all that, when it was cool to be Black and everybody wanted to be, when urban culture was a hot thing, you had everybody want to be Black. That's when these stores started to get, more inclusive with the hair owls. Y'all remember Pantene had the relaxed section. Everybody had a relaxed section. Okay, so the more popular, especially when Amigos came out and all their grandkids was buying everything Black, then they wanted to say, okay, well, we'll include all these Black brands. Then Black owned hit the scene and took off. It was all about a money grab.
This is my official resignation letter as a Target lover. Target, I don't get it. I don't understand. I thought we had a good thing going. We were like this. I was literally going to go to Target today. Walmart, I get. Of course, Walmart. But Target, you really didn't want my coins. You really didn't want my money. Sometimes I would just go to Target just to walk around because it's Target. Now I can't even do that. This really broke my heart. A lot of things I don't give a fuck about. A lot of things are expected. But this...
Y'all, I went in my cabinets and I had to find some receipts for y'all. Went in my kitchen and said, hey, when I saw that clip, I said, hey, I know that sister right there. I got her in my cabinetry. She's in my kitchen. Can y'all see her with her salt-free seasonings? This is our sister Tabitha Brown, y'all. And look at here. She did a deal with McCormick. It ain't even gonna focus on that. I need y'all to see that right there because that's important. It's our sister. This is McCormick. It's her seasonings that are in Target. Target has said that they're getting rid of DEI policies. And notice, if you saw the video in the beginning, you see Al Sharptongue is trying to equate blackity blacks and your ethnicity with other folks' behavior. I hate when they do that, y'all. I hate when they do that because I don't choose to have a wide nose when I wake up in the morning. I don't choose to have brown skin when I wake up in the morning, but people choose to behave in a certain way. You can't equate blackness with behavior, but that's what people who are sellouts of the community, that's what they do. Because they're paid to do such a thing. But let's get back to our sister. Okay, so here we go. Tabitha Brown made a video, y'all. And I love this sister's message. And I love her seasoning. That's why I went in there and got this for y'all. Look, it's almost gone. But I had to show it as proof that I support, that I'm appreciative of folks who operate in excellence. Yeah. The blackity blacks who go forth in business, even if you got to connect with somebody else to get your stuff on the shelf. She did a deal with McCormick. McCormick got distribution. McCormick got her on the shelves of Target. And there she is doing her thing. She's sending a message. that many people might not agree with. If you're aligned with Al Sharpton, you might not agree with what she's talking about because she said, hey, don't boycott me. If you boycott Target, you're going to boycott me. I'm sitting in Target on the shelves. By hard work, by operating in excellence, by doing deals with folks who might be unsavory. These hardcore corporations who know what's going on at McCormick. But she had to do a deal because they had distribution. They got her on the shelves. They got her greater, broader access to the retail market. And she's thankful for it. And I'm thankful for it too, sis, because I was just able to walk in Target and grab your stuff. And my food tastes better. I'm glad about it. But you got to listen to her message. Because it's not so in line with what Al Sharpton is talking about. This sister is saying, look, you got some blackity blacks that's going to come out here that are operatives of the Democrat plantation. They're going to tell you to do certain things. But if you do those things, they're going to hurt me. You got to understand what's going on here. Understand how business works. I'm on the shelf in there. If you boycott that store, that means you're not going to buy my product in that store. That means they're going to snatch me off the shelf because of what Al Sharpton is over here advocating for. Y'all, listen to this message and see if you agree with this sister.
Reverend Al Sharpton taking a stand against President Trump's moves to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at companies around the country. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino is live in East Harlem with more on how a day of shopping took on a more profound meaning. Hi, Duarte.
Hey there, Arthur. The Reverend Al Sharpton is trying to send a message to businesses. If you don't support DEI, there are a lot of Americans who won't support you. This is what he did today. He bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
Now, Costco says it's sticking with its DEI programs, and Sharpton wants to encourage other businesses to do the same. President Trump ordered all federal DEI staff on paid leave and signed orders to dismantle DEI programs in both government and private businesses. Now, one of those orders requires the government to review DEI policies of public companies, but the National Action Network says it won't back down. They plan to boycott companies that get rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
For 90 days, we're going to research the company that we find that has made the most affront. We will call a boycott. But today, we are calling a buy-in.
While Costco says it remains committed to DEI, many well-known companies are scaling back their programs, including Target, Meta, Amazon, McDonald's, Walmart, Lowe's, and Ford. Now, today it was about buying and supporting companies that support DEI, but the National Action Network says it will soon announce the names of companies that it plans to boycott. Arthur?
A tough week, right? And maybe it's been a tough 2025, and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways. with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then you got to, like, where are you going to put it? You got to have a place to store it. That's money, right? You got to have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, you know, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves.
And there you have it, y'all. When I was growing up, my father used to tell me as a little boy, you're going to have to work twice as hard to get half as much as them other folks. And here we are, y'all, today in 2025 on them folks platform doing the work. But we understand those principles. And there are some people in our society that will sit back and cry about it. And there are others in our society that will say, okay, I understand the assignment. I got to work twice as hard. Cool. I'm on it. Let's get to work. What time we start? Boom, let's go. Which one of those people are you? Are you one of those complainers that's going to sit up and get hurt ankles and bunions marching behind fake, feckless profiteers like Al Sharpton? Or are you going to get to work? Are you going to start that business that you always wanted to start? Are you going to take that little talent that you have and expand it into commerce? Because there are people out here like Al Sharpton who would want you to fail. People out here like Al Sharpton who want you to wake up every day angry. People out here like Al Sharpton who want you to follow their lead because it empowers them and allows them to shake down these corporations and milk them for money to his nonprofit. Al Sharpton is more wealthy than you know. And that's why the left uses him to control the blackity blacks. But understand, y'all, there was some blackity blacks in place before Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton was a nobody before certain people got knocked off the scene. And then he was able to rise to prominence because other people were out the way. You understand how that works? You wouldn't have been nobody had so-and-so not been erased. Y'all get it? It's some rappers y'all follow who wouldn't have never been known had certain rappers not been erased that opened up the door for certain people to rise. You understand how this thing works? No matter where you sit, you got to understand what I'm talking about. We ain't following Al Sharpton. We rocking with Tabitha Brown and her seasonings. But we understand DEI got to go. DEI stands for didn't earn it. And if you like me and you've sat in those classrooms and you've earned those degrees, well, you know, you earned every piece of it. That don't apply to us. Y'all ain't like us. We've earned it out here. And we are trying to educate a new generation to get them in the right mindset so they can go out there and earn it, because that is how we honor our ancestors. Yeah, that's how we make them proud, because they didn't have DEI, they didn't have affirmative action, and they lived through it, they survived through it, and they thrived through it, such that we are here in January 2025. Witnessing all of this. What a time to be alive, y'all. DEI is going away. Take it. We don't need it. Bro, I'm that dope. I don't need your DEI. Things I create are fire. I don't need your DEI. I don't need your affirmative action. Look, you set up a classroom down there. I'm going to go down there and get my degree just like you. You set up a law school down there. I'm going to go sit in that law school and get my degree just like you. I don't need your DEI. I don't need your affirmative action, because I understand greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. Y'all, let me know what you think about this as the Blackity Blacks are running behind Al Sharpton, trying to find their place, looking for a leader to lead them to the promised land, not knowing that they are already in the promised land. God has blessed America and will continue to bless America. You don't need DEI. You need to work harder. Let me know what you think about this, y'all. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.